being here. So if you don't know where you're at, thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21, where we talk hot topics, trending topics, we get into it. We're going to talk generally, because of course I've missed several days, and it's cool. Okay. But of course, I'm gonna do my disclaimers. I'm gonna get into a few different things, and we're gonna talk what I can talk about up with some things I have, which you know me, no matter what's going on, I always do. Okay, so let's get into the disclaimer first. Okay. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged and our opinion and for entertainment purposes only. Okay. So, yes, good morning, everyone. Good morning. You could probably hear it even in my voice. This will not be a long live. I can't even tell you, I can't even do it. But I thank you for being here. I know y'all was probably wondering where, what happened. I had to end the other live. That was something different that day. But I'm here. I am back. I appreciate you all. Yes, we're going to get into a few different topics. I'm going to do everything I can to just generally give you some updates. But while I was chilling, reviewing, I noticed that there's a lot going on, and y'all know I don't deal with hi, I know, I knew certain things and certain comments, and certain cultures will try to utilize our topics and then try to throw shade. It was in some of my so then how I noticed they talking about me, and trust and believe the man above don't play about me. There was another one had issues with she being called out beyond being called out. So stop using some of my sayings. Find your own. Yes, I can be faceless. Yes, I can. And mind your business. Because of what I don't do, I don't play that. And you're in our Paris, no, I don't do YouTube beats. I don't even care like that. But I'm noticing stuff with you because people notice I don't pay attention to stuff. I just be in my own thing. I bring out the topics, whatever. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Don't use my sayings. Paris, for 2, 3 years, what would I say? Where was Rob? When it's been talking about this Wendy Williams thing, what did I say? Follow the money. And then, like I said, just chilling, little comments. This is the biggest thing. There are a lot of people that's covering this trial, and everybody's doing their thing. That should be celebrated. And a lot of us have put out what some of our favorites people are that's covering the trial. So I'm back. Don't play. Watch your mouth. Because I know you probably watching and following. The other one then being called out, and I ain't have to do nothing about her. So watch your mouth. Anyway, good morning, Paris girl. I miss you, girl. If you only knew. Um, and at first, Paris, at first I was like, how can I tell Paris without, And I was like, there's no way for you to say anything. As long as Paris know you good, then I'm all right. So yeah, Paris, I was like, when I go live, how am I going? You know what I'm saying? Even though me and Paris know how to talk code, there's no way I can really, you know what I'm saying? But I'm good. I'm good though. I'm good. My family's probably not have, but I'm only gonna go live just to talk about a few things. I have been trying to stay up on everything, but this is the one thing, y'all. Okay, the trial is going on. The jury's gonna have a decision to make. When they make their ending statements and every when it's towards the end, if it was me, I would literally look at the jurors and say, would you want him around your mama? Would you want him around your aunt? Would you want him around your daughter? If he had nowhere to go, would you let him live at your house? If he had nowhere to go, would you want him living at your mama's house? Hey, attorneys, he has and trust believe there's being alleged comments that he's able to utilize allege his plane to make money. So even though people are saying he's if he and this when you think about it, it's a good thing he does have that plane. If he didn't have the plane, it's allegedly being rented out to people for different things, whatever. So it's a good thing he does have the plane to rent it out to make some money. Because outside of that, the time he spends or the time he wants to spend with his attorneys, and attorneys are not cheap. He is probably paying out the wazoo. So having the plane still, I'm kind of surprised that the feds didn't take the plane or confiscate the plane. I didn't think you could keep stuff like that. But here nor there. Allegedly, Diddy's making money from renting the plane out. Here nor there. But this is the other thing. Attorneys, I'd be the same. Attorneys, would you want somebody like this alleged dating your daughter? It's surprising when people that defend a situation like this, and I've already said, period, is he's innocent till proven guilty in a court of law, and it's up to the judge and jury of what has been said, what we've heard, but it's kind of it's the same pattern. And this is the other thing. Where Gina at? How is Gina able to go MIA? Will they find her? And what's going to really happen with that? Because remember how I told y'all back then, 8, 9, 10 months ago, RIP to Kim Porter. If Kim Porter was still here, the parallel situations between Kim and Cassie, we dual part of that. See, that's the other thing. If Gina's gone, it would be the parallel of Gina and Cassie. So right now, the assistants are being brought in. And let's be very clear. We don't know who this other person that spoke yesterday. I don't want to know the name. Don't put it in comments. I don't want to know who she is. Don't put it in comments. They say she's supposed to be anonymous. And the judge isn't playing about that. And if she wants to be anonymous, she should be able to be anonymous. I don't know who it is. I didn't look it up who it is. She's up there, and everybody that has testified, whatever the demeanor is concerning of her being wanting to be there, wanting to testify. So if she wants to be anonymous, let that lady be anonymous, baby. So this whole situation is that what's going on? Um, there's just a lot going on. Am I still? Yeah, I'm still live. There's just a lot going on, and we look at the whole. What is going on? How Diddy made that video, no matter what's going on, it was almost like he was running from the popos. I posted that video on my shorts a long, long time ago, and everybody was like, well, is he trying to tell us something? Hmm. There was another person that testified that, and everybody keeps saying, why didn't you call 911? Why didn't you call 911? Why didn't you get a police report? Why didn't you get assistance? And isn't it interesting? Can I say this too? Y'all know how there's sometimes blind items? I'm surprised there wasn't more blind items about them. I'm surprised there wasn't more stories written about them. Yes, the more we listen, the more concerning it gets. There are whole people that are saying, I love my life, I want to be here. I'm covering this. I love my life, I want to be here. If something was XYZ, I didn't do it. Because we got to look at there's alleged comments that some people are no longer with us, which is concerning. And there's a lot of people that's covering it, and they're covering it in a good way. They are. Everybody's doing their own thing. So I don't know if, no, it couldn't have been that because I noticed my titles prior to that. Armand's doing the doggone thing. Mims is doing the doggone thing. And there's a lot of women that's doing the doggone thing too, as far as their coverage. Listen to everybody. I listen to a lot of stuff. And there's a lot of women that's doing great things, but I've learned the guys don't. most of them, the guys don't really have issues with a lot of people. Sometimes the women will. And people that's been with me know certain ones I've had issues with because back in the day they were utilizing, like, I would put in my comments different things of what was transpiring. It was kind of like a thing I do. So it was kind of like they used to use my talking points. That's what it was. She used to use my talking points and not give me credit, not no nothing. So now she being dragged. So that's why I know that I don't normally have to do anything. But here nor there, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Okay, but we're gonna just generally do this real quick. No, 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 no. Yeah. Um. But yeah, the biggest thing is it's interesting how, and I told y'all this too. Didn't I tell y'all the other day I had noticed it and I posted a short? Didn't I tell y'all that every person that hit that stand, they gonna try and make them look away, but he's the one in jail? They're gonna try and hit, and don't get me wrong, Diddy's lawyers are doing the doggone thing. They are. But there cannot be a decision made about this court case yet. There just can't be. There just cannot be a decision made about this court case yet. And I told y'all that they're going to try and make everybody look cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And this is the other thing. Have y'all noticed? And y'all let me know in the comments if y'all noticed this. Have y'all noticed that the employees were fearful and then had to send nice messages? And then some of them went back, even though fearful. Is that not cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Be patient with me. I'm recovering. I'm hitting the other side, and I'm putting my track shoes on. But the other days, I was like, I know you lying. But yeah, recovering. Everybody's been taking such great care of me. Real talk. But yeah, let's get into some clips. But yeah, just go over there and support who you want to support on YouTube. Everybody's trying to bring y'all the best that they can in regards to stuff. But yeah, I don't do YouTube beefs. So they're gonna find themselves talking to themselves. But you keep using my titles because you can't find none, then that's gonna be a problem. Yeah, he has a bad temper. And that's what's been concerning in regards to, remember how they said that Cassie went to Prince's party and uh she saw that he was coming and then she bolted off, or he caught Cassie and didn't catch the other person. Here nor there. When did Prince die? I want to look that up. RIP to Prince. But yeah, for her to just be able to go to a party and he was basically telling Cassie to stay home. Well, sir, she's a grown woman. See, he didn't want her to be around great people, near people, by people. He wanted to control everything she did. And it took her some time to come off them substances. Y'all notice that too? Yeah, even the men were concerned and afraid. Remember how somebody had testified recently, y'all, stating that they were concerned about calling the police because they were concerned if that made any difference. This is the other thing that I caught. Remember how they said that the police was by Kid Cudi's house? They had noticed an SUV. It was black tinted windows. He took down the license plate. Okay. Then they left and allegedly came back or something like that. And they kept saying, why would you not pull that person over? He probably, once he looked it up, he was like, I ain't gonna mess with that, because they would probably call my boss on me, and he probably was worried about his pay. Real talk, when y'all think about it, that police had got the call that something was transpiring with possibly alleged Diddy, and the police saw the SUV. You ran the tag, they came back, and the police did nothing. He said because he felt that he didn't see that there was any damage done to the home. Well, if you see that packages are open and if you get the call, why not pull that person over? He didn't want to. They ain't gonna say it, but I'll probably say it. They didn't want to. They did not want. And this is the other thing. Did y'all catch this, T? It's being reported that there was fingerprints that was given to the police, And now the fingerprints are missing. Well, first off, shouldn't the police have did all their own due diligence in regards to fingerprinting the home and getting fingerprints from the cocktail of what was happening to Kid Cudi's car? And then Diddy wanting Kid Cudi's testimony thrown out. Diddy wants to control this whole trial. He is working his legal team overtime. He wants to control what's said, what's done, and then they are going back and forth in regards to objections, 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 overruled. And see, y'all got to realize if there's an alleged appeal a later, they're going to want to say we objected to that. See, I learned something different in regards to Tory Lanez. There was not a lot of objections. So when he tried to appeal stuff, he didn't object to a lot of stuff. I'm not no legal ego. I don't know all the sayings, but I'm just telling you there's a reason why they're objected to a lot of stuff. Hold on one second. Oh, I don't know. Can y'all hear me? Okay, now y'all can hear me. They had said that, Paris, and that's why he was allegedly able to get away with and not being able to be touched. So that guy, once he ran those plates, he was like, I ain't messing with that because he might say something to me. My boss might say something to me. It's like, you know better than to knock on his door. You know better than to pull him over. You know better than to approach him. I don't know why they didn't address that in court. See, that's where my page is a little different. I got a little street talk in me, but I'm not street. But I got some good street buddies though, and they are fun, fun, fun loving. Whew. Anyway, and they taught me a lot. Probably because, I'm a little cutesy. And they always wanted to make sure I was good and protected. And I appreciate them always. So, you know, but yeah, I think that's kind of why certain things I see, I hear, I listen. And I do think that that police officer should have. And they kept saying, well, why didn't you pull it over? Why? Because there was not it didn't look like the house was damaged. And then that's the other thing. They were stating that Kid Cudi locked the gate, but not the home. Interesting, right? And Paris. This is the other thing. Hey, got your girl. Yeah. This is the other thing. Where was his cameras? So you telling me he and don't get this wrong. He had security cameras. He had security cameras. Somehow, some way, they were turned off to the side. I think when the car situation happened, or something like that. Somehow, some way, his cameras were moved at one point or another. I heard that too. I caught that tea. But it's like there's got to be more than one type of security camera he had. And then remember how they were stating that there was an alleged chase? That officer had said he don't recall no chase because remember they were saying that Cuddy did the diddler saw Cuddy and then he was like, there he is, get him. So it's a good thing Kid Cuddy's still here. Man, let me tell you. See, I was wondering, yeah, who turned the cameras a certain way when they couldn't be seen? See, that's certain stuff in my mind ain't adding up. And see, this is the other thing. It seems as if, allegedly, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know these people. I'm just telling you what I see. It seems as if there's a lot of stuff that's okay. If fingerprints are not missing, why would he have to turn in fingerprints? Shouldn't that place have been fingerprinted? Hello? First off. And if the fingerprints that he turned in, why you gotta turn in fingerprints? And now those fingerprints are missing. Some will say after some certain amount of time, stuff will be closed out, but those fingerprints should still be there. But here nor there. Now it don't matter because the man testified that he pulled up the plate and it was Diddy's, but the fingerprint should be there. But it seems as if there's help here. So, like I told y'all before, I've said it once, I'll say it again. Watch the distractions. Watch how the attorneys will try to make whoever takes that stand look away, because you got to remember a lot of them feared their employer. Just like Cassie, he had people controlled. And if you couldn't call the popos, and if you couldn't, do anything, go to the hospital, man, did y'all catch that the person who was in Mia, she's another, they even shut off the cameras in the other room. So we don't even want to know who Mia is. But did y'all catch that she said he took advantage? And it's sad that it didn't seem like she went to go get no kit done. You know what I'm saying? She could have got a kit done. But they had so much fear and then that's the other thing. Baby, they said she went almost 5 days without sleeping. She got drowsy, lost hearing in her ears, and then he finally said, "Go ahead and go to sleep." Baby, that's some nasty work. She went almost 5 days without sleeping, y'all. But she said she had alleged seen one of his shows and she knew that some nights would be sleepless. 5 days of sleepless nights, though? How the people in the relationship was treated, how his employees were treated, how we saw how he treated certain band members. In itself, he has to sit there and listen to people tell how they felt about him. And some of them are still trying to be kind because they probably still scared. But see, his team will constantly state, well, why would you still contact him? And why would you send condolences about Kim? And da 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 da. I don't know about y'all, but once somebody, even with this situation, once somebody step on my toe, that's what I call it. Once you step on my toe, you're not gonna get a second chance to step on my toe. And this is the other thing, I give people 3 chances. Sometimes I don't, because if you downright rude, I'm gonna get you all the way together, and I'm gonna have you sitting in the corner sucking on your thumb. When I sometimes give people 3 chances, maybe they having a bad day, bad situation. But then when I notice you being rude, disrespectful, and you trying to take me for granted, or you trying to make me look a fool, I'll get you all the way together. And I've made stuff where people was like, dang, I should have never messed with her. I don't play. I don't play. I don't know if I could have worked for him, been with him, still sending messages. I'm even surprised that Cassie went to Kim's funeral. I'm kind of surprised. With all the stories and all the situations that Cassie went through, I'm surprised that she went. Are y'all surprised? Or is it just me? Are y'all surprised that Cassie went to Kim's funeral for what she experienced with the diddler? I kind of am. And I'm surprised when she finally got with Alex, she stepped out from Alex and went back to the diddler. He has some strongholds, y'all. Strongholds. Okay, was there anything else I wanted to talk about? I'm gonna get to a video. Hold on one second. But yeah, um hold on. There's a lot that these people that's taking the stand, they're trying to line these people up, fly them in, fly them out. How much time will you need with this person? How much time will you need with that person? This whole court system, there's a lot of people testifying. Okay, wait a minute, Paris, before I forget, I want to hear about these celebrities. I want to hear about his people that work for him. I want to hear about these celebrities and these events. So y'all telling me none of these celebrities did nothing to help Cassie? None of them? None of these celebrities did anything to help Cassie. They just gonna let her just, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully this is the celebrity part of it. Hopefully this will help women stay away from a situation and get out of a situation and call the popos. Call 911. Call them. Call them. Call them. Call them. Because sometimes if you don't want to do anything about it, certain cities or states, they'll take the case on. They'll take the case on. Yeah. So these celebrities just MIA, not saying nothing. I'm wondering outside of Kid Cudi, how are none of these celebrities saying nothing, did nothing? Y'all watch, and if you knew, cause see, how remember how they said, catch this tea. Cassie would put on makeup to cover up the bruises. And then sometimes on the carpet, he'd be whispering in her ear, you dumb dot 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 dot, you dumb dot dot dot. And then sometimes that he would have her come in, she's sitting in a chair, he'd be like, get up, sit down, get up, sit down, then get out of my face. Baby, one of the girls had said, I'll never be like that for you. I would never put up with a man like that. So sometimes people would get them together. So I had watched a video, and I'm about to play this video for y'all. I had watched a video in regards to it looked like possibly Cassie and Diddy were on a boat. She was kind of on her arm, maybe looking at a magazine or playing with her food, whatever it was. Cassie was leaned over, Diddy was sitting up, and she was kind of, talking back a little bit. And he was basically like, yeah, y'all millenniums, y'all millenniums. He was putting her down in the video. So people probably back in the day saw it. We just did not know that it was that serious. And yeah, he are basically saying you millenniums. Yeah. But all those times she got, it's crazy to me. Yeah, and see that's the other thing too. You're right. The concerns of be quiet. And we don't know if some of these this is the other thing. If it is being reported that the jet is being leased out, whatever, we don't know if some of his friends is helping him under the table financially. Okay, I got 100 friends. Okay, you could send me a little something something. I helped you. We don't know if that's happening too. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, remember when you didn't have money for so and so? We don't know if a call like that was put out. I'm going through something, I helped you. 100 friends could be helping them out under the table. But I really, really want to see the next part of the celebrities. I mean, you figure this is going to go. It's being alleged it's going to go till July 4th. That's when they want it to go to. July 3rd, July 4th. And he trying not to go past July 4th. But like I said, innocent till proven guilty. But a lot of people have very, very, very similar stories. And it's concerning. Okay, so let's get to this clip. Mm, my first live in like 7 days.
Here in Manhattan, Aaron.
Thanks for being here,
Mia at
y'all.
one point today said that Sean Combs' sex.
Fair use reaction clip. Don't forget to double tap the screen, you guys, to hit the like button. Your girl is here. She shouldn't be. I'm surprised I ain't had no looks or knocks on my office right now. But yeah, I'm kind of, live. I shouldn't be. So please tap the screen. If you're watching from a phone, all you got to do is double tap the screen. So let's get to the clip.
Actually assaulted her. What was that moment like in the courtroom?
This may have been the most harrowing and some of the most consequential testimony of the entire trial so far. Eva, the courtroom fell silent. Mia kept her eyes cast down. For most of her testimony, the jury saw nothing but...
Like we said, we don't know who Mia is, and we're going to make sure she stay anonymous. I don't even know who Mia is. God bless her. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
The part in her hair on the top of her head, and the jury paid rapt attention. Her friends were sobbing in the back row. They had come to support her, and while she was sobbing and speaking haltingly.
Okay, so they brought in people so you would not know it was a bunch of ladies with Mia. So none of the people, so as they're walking in, there's about 5 to 6 ladies that look like they could be Mia, but you won't be able to tell which one is actually Mia. So they were smart giving her security or detail that could help, you know, disguise a bunch of women. You know what I'm saying? So that was smart.
In stilted speech, she said that Sean Combs sexually
Dot,
assaulted
dot,
her.
dot, dot, dot.
He's denied sexually assaulting
Dot,
anyone,
dot,
but
dot,
she said
dot.
it was not just once that it occurred. The first time, she said, was in the Plaza Hotel, while
There's
seemingly living in. But she was on vacation, she said, in Turks and Caicos when Cassie Ventura came screaming into her hotel room and saying she's got to help me. She remembered Cassie otherwise being chill and calm, and this, she recalled, was a terrified type scream. She remembered another time where the two of them had to escape from Sean Combs after something happened. They grabbed paddle boards and paddled out to sea to get away from him, leaving him ranting and raving and following.
that paddleboard story was crazy too. They paddleboard out to the sea, and then he was shouting. That's crazy. Let's continue. Fair use.
Them on the beach. But Eva, think of this entire scene. She says that as his personal assistant, she was made to sit in the bathroom with him while she's on the toilet, was made to be in his closet, where she said another sexual assault occurred when he forced himself in her mouth. And so she felt like he was the king. She had nowhere to go. She couldn't tell him no about a sandwich, she testified. She couldn't tell him no about anything.
Did Mia say why she never went to police about any of this?
She talked about it as though she felt like the police weren't going to listen. And she said something that I think the jury paid attention to, and that was, this was before social media. This was before really the Me Too era, when anyone had stood up to someone so powerful as Sean Combs. And she recalled this story about being pulled over, and she was nervous about being late to meet Combs. And she told the officer, I'm going to be late for to meet my boss. Well, who's your boss? She said Sean Combs, and the officer laughed at her and said, yeah, right. Put him on the phone. And so she did, and she remembered the demeanor of the officer, laughing. Couldn't believe she was talking to the Sean Combs. And she said it left her feeling like, what police officer could she possibly go to that would believe her account of a sexual assault?
Mia worked for Combs.
So let's make that clear. Let me clean that up. I don't know why he didn't clean that up. She got pulled over. They talked to the police. The police talked to Diddy. Diddy said, yeah, she works for me. And they didn't give her a ticket, allegedly. I don't know why he didn't clean that up. So she didn't get a ticket. They let her go so she can get to Diddy. Let's be very clear on that. And basically, she was saying, Mia, she was saying she couldn't tell him no. She couldn't even tell him no about a sandwich. And then the bathroom thing. I don't know if Diddy was in the bathroom and she was trying to get Mia to listen to him even when he was in the bathroom, or was Mia in the bathroom and Diddy wanted to talk to her. Either way, there was a conversation about somebody in the bathroom and not having any privacy, and that Mia couldn't lock the doors, alleged, but security guys in their situation, they could lock their doors. Isn't that something? Some of these employees could not lock the doors, no matter where they were at. Like the video, like the video. I had to clean it up.
And during her time with him, she says he suspended her from her job without pay. Why?
Suspended her on a couple of occasions after he accused her of insubordination. And some of those times, she believed it was his behavior that he was reacting to. And specifically, she recalled one time when another employee named Kayla actually went to report her suspicion that Sean Combs was assaulting Cassie Ventura. And she remembered getting into a fight with Kayla, punching, whatever. And this woman wasn't fired for punching Mia. She was fired, Mia said, for reporting to Human Resources, a bad boy, her suspicion that Sean Combs had assaulted Cassie. That was the kind of environment she said she was working in.
Sean Combs obviously was sitting there watching everything she had to say today. Did he have any reaction to all of this?
He's been leaning back away from the table, seated more stretched out. And while at the beginning of court he interacted a bit with his family, during this testimony he would shake his head, but he would also turn to the jury box to see how the jury was taking in all of these harrowing details, clearly interested in whether Mia's testimony was cutting through.
Aaron Koczorski for us there outside federal court. Thank you, as always. And joining us now is ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer. Brian, you were in court earlier today. What do you think the big moment of the day was?
I think the big moment of the day is when Mia described that alleged rape as Aaron Koczorski put out for her.
Dot,
Now,
dot, dot.
understand, I'm watching her in the courtroom. We are legally not allowed to describe her features. They're not allowed to have court sketches. But as you watch this woman, as Aaron pointed out, looking down for the most part, having her bangs kind of over her head.
This is how I became debt-free in
Yeah.
just 48.
That's so concerning, y'all. And then why is the other? Will Gina testify, y'all? Will Gina come in and testify and do her part? Like the video, fair use reaction clip. There's about 490 something in the building. Can you please subscribe and turn on your notification? Thank you. Hold on.
Into her and having the question asked, what do you mean by that? And
Fair
explaining
use
what
reaction
Barbershop
clip.
Films, he allegedly did that to her.
We heard Mia, they're talking. She's one of 4 victims in this case. She also talked about how close she was with Cassie. Why does that relationship matter?
So I think it matters for 2 reasons. One, don't forget, she first started working. She was Sean Combs' personal assistant. And so it's somewhat weird that, according to her testimony at least, Sean Combs told her to stay with Cassie to kind of keep tabs on her. And so I think in part feeds this idea of, is this a criminal enterprise where you're having someone keep track of someone that the government is now saying you are sex trafficking and you're keeping this free cops?
Dot.
But also,